Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the Astrid Princess, the Astrid Bizarre Princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. It's been a weird day. It's like I went to a show without you yesterday. I had to take notes at it. It
Yeah, I know.
kind of
It's
sucked.
it's a lot harder when you got to take notes.
It sure is a. I missed a few finishes because I was writing some cool stuff that was happening, but I know how it ended, and that's all that matters. I just rubbed my shoulders today. I got a little dizzy at the gym because I did not take in enough food before going to the gym. Andre Melball. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. I worked out today. Did some blasted my legs today and did some arm or other side. You full body most days. Um, and got home, going to take a shower, and almost fell over. Do one leg giving out to me because it was just sore. I'm like, no, no, I almost fell over. Getting ready to have a shower. I'm like, oh, that wasn't good.
Hey, that's what happens when you work those legs too hard.
It's very true. It's very true.
Mhm.
But we're not here to talk about how we work out. We're here to talk about cheese. All that wonderful cheese.
Are we talking about Cape Kid today? We are, I think. Yeah, we are.
There's some cheese on this show. There's some cheesy shit on this show, and there's some great shit on
Yes,
this show too.
it
Um,
sure is.
some glorious chaos, some terrible chaos. There's some destruction of my bracket. Um, yeah. Uh, Look, this New Japan Cup has been okay, interesting this year.
It has been. There's been some very interesting matches coming out of this bracket. Matches that we thought would be really, really good have just been kind of like wonk, and matches that we weren't expecting to be really good have been whoo, whoo, whoo. What are we gonna do with this tournament? It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's been such an up and down tournament, but like it's been
Mm,
more good than bad with these tournament matches. Like at least I can say it's been more
yes,
good than bad. That's at least
true
we can at
that.
least have that. Yeah. Uh,
Absolutely.
and, and even what ended badly was wonderful for about 90% of it.
Yes,
In one of them,
I
I'll
will
say
agree on
that.
that. Yeah.
So
Uh, oh, I'll be interested to hear which one that is.
the last one, let's just say that. Uh, but before we get into talking about the New Japan Cup, I want to thank each and every one of you. If you're listening to us on Sunday Night's Main Event Radio, thank you so much for tuning in on Sunday Night's Main Event. If you want to hear us in audio form, sundaynightsmainevent.com or patreon.com/SNME Radio. If you are listening, please like the channel on whatever podcast cap listener program you're on. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. We'd really very much appreciate that. And also, support. And if you want to support at patreon.com/SNME Radio. And those of you watching on the YouTube, whether it's Backbreaker Video or whether it's Andre Melball or Talk, thank you so very much for tuning in and looking at my not so pretty face and Melball's very pretty face. Uh, Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share it out to all your friends, families, dogs, cats, hamsters, gerbils, aliens, beings from other galaxies, whatever you want to see, whatever they are. Share us out. We'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
No phone home.
Oh my goodness, we're targeting the animals today.
That's right. That's right. But a real target is the New Japan Cup. Nights 6, 7, and 8 from March 12th, 13th, and 15th. We're here to talk about them. We're here to break down the tournament matches and one undercard match per show. We talk about one undercard
A
match.
very particular show, or particular
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. So on the March 12th show, no Doki on the show, or not in a match anyway. So no Doki Choki. So that made me
Lame,
sad. It made me sad.
lame.
With our first of two second round matches on this night, it's Tangaloa versus David Finley, and what turned out to be an incredibly good match. Man, these two, their matchup was fire.
I'm going to agree and disagree simultaneously. I really, really enjoyed the intensity of this match, being that there really had no reason to be tension. I felt like this faction of Bullet Club didn't have any problems with the newest faction of Bullet Club, but Bullet Club in general has just been a problem for everybody. Um, there was a few points in the match that were kind of hicky-uppy.
Hmm.
Hicky-uppy. Oh, that's funny. Kind of works out because that's his brother. Um, however, I agree generally overall this match was a banger of a match. It's just there was a few little hiccups, hiccaleos, old hiccaleos.
Yeah, I apologize if my audio just changed because I just switched from my headset mics to my actual microphone. I don't know if that was better or worse.
Oh,
So I guess when I switched to these, it defaulted into the wrong one. So we might have to
oh.
fix some other stuff depending on how I sound.
I mean, you sounded fine on my end.
All right, let's hope I sounded fine with my headsets mic because I don't know. Sometimes they sound like
Yay
terrible.
to me and not being the technological issue this time.
Well, I was just like, huh, I wonder if my mic changed when I switched to my headphone. Then it did, because I'm insane. You know,
Sure.
just all the fun little technical difficulties of life and me not being good at this.
Insane in the membrane.
So we'll get into the match. Low attacks Finley at
Ah,
the entrance, surprising him as he was coming out the curtain. Actually, a really smart move here from
mm,
Tangaloa. They
mhm.
fight to the ring. They get in, and then Finley immediately rolls out. Finley gets the advantage on the floor, but Loa pulls, and then Finley gets in, uh, and then Loa pulls him back out, and it's just a giant kind of mess, running each other in the barricades. Tangaloa tosses Finley into the chairs. Back in the ring, Loa rips Finley's shirt in the ring and starting to chop. So that he hit a chop that went nah, and he ripped the shirt open and started chopping him in the chest. And I'm like, oh, and he's going corner to corner to corner to corner.
Yeah, and those weren't clapper chops. Those were thudder chops. Those things were ouch kibbles.
Yeah, they didn't look very pretty, or like very pretty to take. Anyways, um,
No.
Finley fights back on the floor. Oh, go ahead. Here's something.
No, no,
Oh,
no,
Finley
I'm
fights
good.
back. At clotheslines Tangaloa to the floor. He slams Low on the floor, spears him into the barricade. He then tosses Tangaloa into the chairs, getting his revenge. Tangaloa makes it back in at 8, which is good. But
Yay.
Finley is stomping on him. Finley gets snap suplex. He's attacking the back, working the guy over. Um, but Loa fights out of a sleeper and hits a backdrop suplex. Loa pushes Finley off the top of the floor. He's tossing. They're back on the floor. Loa tossing him into the barricades again. He backdrops him onto the edge of the ring. Tangaloa gets this like where he gets a guy in the corner back in the ring, and then he goes to the lariat. Larry jumps up and goes through the ropes at the same time in the corner. Love that.
Very Teton-esque.
Yeah, I was gonna say very Miz-esque because was doing that. Has been doing that since the early days of the Miz. So very
Yeah,
Miz-esque.
yeah, but Teton doesn't now. It's that big immortal forearm, right?
Yeah, but again, I just like calling it Ms. S so it pisses some people off.
Oh, okay. Piss away
Yeah,
then. Piss away.
yeah. Then Tangaloa hits the high cross off the top for 2. He messes up the Tiger feint kick with the 619, which is like I don't know why a
That's
guy
what I
that
was
big.
saying.
Yeah, and then he slams him, puts him back on the rope, and then does another, and he hits it. I'm like, ugh, I would have just abandoned the spot at that point. Uh,
You know what
he
it
goes,
triggered for me in that moment? Because you remember in the Royal Rumble when we watched it, the Women's Royal Rumble, where Maxine came out? She was supposed to do
mm,
a move and she hooped it, and Bailey was just like, "Nope, we're doing it again." And we did it again. That was what that moment felt like for me, was when the 619 happened. I was kind of like, "Ooh,
yeah.
eh." I think there's going to be
but
another move you might mention later. Same thing kind of happened.
not messed up as spectacularly as Maxine Dupree did, but same feeling.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finley gets the knees up when Loa goes for the Eddie Guerrero senton over the top. They're trading strikes back and forth. Finley catches a strike and hits the Irish Curse backbreaker for 2. Finley with the repeated lariats in the corner, short arm lariats, but they're not dropping Loa. Loa runs him into the corner, hits his own repeated lariats in the corner, then he hits a short arm clothesline. Swinging Uranagi by Loa, but he can only get 2. Finley gets a backslide out of an apeshit attempt, but he turns the backslide, rolls that through into overkill attempt, but Loa gets out and Loa gets a power bomb for 2.
Mm.
Finley ends up catching Kamigoye, gets into Oblivion for 2. Loa slips the power bomb attempt into, and he hits apeship, but Finley kicks out of that 2.9, like just barely surviving. This is where Finley headbutts Loa as he goes for he's got him in the Kamigoye, and he just pops up and just like uppercut headbutts him. Just rough as hell. And then he picks him up, stack powerbomb for 2. Then he unleashes the overkill for the win. Again, I thought really, really good, opening, or I guess not opening, but the really good second round match.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, again, I agree, but once he messed up that 619, you know that my complaint about the bald one in FTR, Baldy. Remember, I told you if he ever hiccups in the middle of a match, it hasn't been since the earlier AEW times. He seems to have actually gotten rid of this trait, which thank goodness I'm happy for. But in WWE in the beginning of AEW, he had this thing where if he messed up, he struggled a lot to refine the rhythm of the match. And I felt that this happened not for the rest of the match, but there was a small chunk of time after that Tongalo struggled a little bit to get into the kind of wind down. After he hit that first ape shit, I feel like it kind of came back and he got back into the stride. But there was that time in between the 619 and that first ape shit attempt where he was kind of not who we usually see, which is fair because he's gone through a lot in the time that we have seen him with that knee surgery, and it would appear that knee is becoming a bit more of an issue for him for regular in-ring kind of time. It concerns me because I really enjoy watching Tongaloa, but it makes me sad to think that we might be seeing a wind down on his in-ring time. Otherwise, this did kind of go the way I thought it was going to be. I definitely thought Finley was going to pull a win out on this one. I hope this is the continued climb of Finley because he really does need it after that global title loss.
Yeah, again, my bracket for Finley is good right up into the finals, but it's broken. It's been broken. My bracket's been broken. That's the problem. But I got Finley going to the finals, but I didn't have him winning. Now I'm hoping he wins because my pick isn't gonna win this.
I mean, change of heart, right? Change of heart.
Yes, so. But yeah, again, I thought these two did really well together. Yeah, there were some hiccups in it, but I thought really if you had put this on paper for me and I never saw the first round from Tangaloa, I wouldn't have thought, really, Tangaloa? And yeah, I had really good time watching this match.
Yeah. What I really, really enjoyed about this was Tonga, as I'd mentioned, that faction of Bullet Club and the current faction of Bullet Club, they didn't really tango together. They kind of were before because they
Tangaloa.
I see what you caught on to. That was an unintentional pun. But yeah, these guys hadn't really tangoed together in that aspect of they would have reason to hate each other. But what I really enjoyed was Tonga right from the get-go taking control of that story, going to the curtain, meeting Finley as he was coming out, and the surprise on Finley even throwing his shillelagh back. Like it created a really great story, despite the hiccups. Again, that's why I agreed, but also kind of disagreed because there were some things that should have probably not happened, but at the same time, overall, very solid match and a very good story told.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. So we're
Mhm.
gonna move on to the second match on March 12th, second and final match of March 12th. It is Hiroki Goto in his debut in the tournament, taking on Chase Owens.
Mhm.
Like, man, uh, Chase is just putting on clinics, and from what I've heard, his knee is pretty messed up, and he's
Mhm.
doing very well. He won some tag titles. He's killing it twice in 2 matches in the New Japan Cup, and the undercard matches that he's doing he's
Mhm.
looking pretty good. And, damn, this guy's if his knee is as hurt as I heard, geez, like
Mhm. Mhm. Well,
it
if you
doesn't
look on
show.
his Instagram especially, he's sharing a lot of like the what is it? It's cold, I think. Like his legs are constantly in these like little cold leg brace things that
Oh,
make
cold
it cold.
compress.
I'm
I'm
clearly
a,
educated on the matter. But yeah, it seems like he has taken some treatment to ensure that his joints are kind of taken care of. I mean, obviously it's going to be the one thing on you that's going to get banged up the most in this sport are going to be your knees. But yeah, take us into it, man.
yeah. So Chase immediately rolling to the floor, pulling a Kenta. Chase attacks Goto. Uh, uh, but Goto fights back, unloads on Owens. Owens goes to the floor, and he like grabs a bottle and whips it at Goto in the ring, but it bounces off the top rope, bouncing back out. I was just like, you can't even throw.
So mean. I think that was
Very mean.
Gino's water bottle, wasn't it?
Probably Gino or no, I bet you it was Walker's because he probably took Walker's to be a dick to Walker. Because like Walker is his new Kevin Kelly, where he's going to be a jerk to him, but he's going to be nice. He's going to be a jerk to like Walker and uh, Chris, but he'll be nice to Gino because Gino's Bullet Club. I guess he's Bullet Club associated. He's not an actual
Sort of,
member, but
kind
he's
of,
like
in a way, yeah.
he's Bullet Club light.
He's the Dave Meltzer of Bullet Club.
What Dave Meltzer is to the Bucks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chase gets the advantage in the ring. And Owen stops. And Goto's trying to fight back with their arm drag, but he hits a Larry. Owen's working over Goto on the floor with a headlock with those punches to the nose that he does. Just like
Oh, yeah. So
they look
vicious.
rough. They look rough.
Mhm.
He runs Goto into the barricade, but Goto gets in at 14. So
Mhm.
good on you. It's not
It's a good
19.
number, good number.
Owens is working over Godo, slamming him down with a hair, kicking him, just being a dick. He does that cocky pose on the ropes that he does.
Mhm.
Um, just Owens slapping at Godo. Godo fights back. A lot of good back and forth throughout. Godo gets the wheel kick in the corner and the backdrop suplex out and gets a 2 count out of it. Owens fights back, hits the Marvel special in the ring and hits the STO and then hits the senton to follow up. Um, Bunch of misdirections. Goto gets 2 lariats, but Owens comes back with this like biggest lariat I've ever think of seen him throw in his life, like just trying to rip Goto's head off with it. Uh, Goto dodges the C trigger, gets Ushi-Goroshi, but can't follow up. They trade strikes at center. Goto gets a sleeper. Owens is fading, but Goto lets go and hits the PK. Goto with the GTW, but only gets 2. Owens steals a roll up for 2. You literally had Owens almost passed out in the sleeper. Why did you let go?
Yeah, that was very much a Sonata moment.
Yeah, I was expecting this guy to like let go and do a moonsault, but he didn't. He did the just I don't know. He went to his old finish, the GTW, but like yeah, I get it.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
uh
that one didn't make sense to me either. I was like, if he's fading, let him fade.
right. Um there we are. Owens sends Goto to the floor, hits a wrecking ball style drop kick through the ropes, sending Goto into the barricade. He goes for the package pile driver on the apron. Goto fights out, gets in the ring. Owens pulls him back out, runs him into the barricade, removes the floor padding, tries the package pile driver on the floor, but gets back body dropped onto the exposed floor. That's why you don't pull the mat away, because you are going to get hurt, you dummy. Goto misses Owens, and he lariats the post, but he gets back in. Mel's favorite spot, 19. And Owens hits the C trigger and the neck breaker, but can only get 2. Owens gets Goto into the ropes, hits the Kenta special green killer, but can only get 2. Goto fights off the package pile driver, but Owens hits a strike, but Goto runs Owens into the corner. Goto pulls Owens. He gets Owens up top, then pulls him down, and he goes crashing into the buckle. Look, just like
yeah, he bounced so good on that one. That was crazy.
Yeah, rope assisted Shoto by Goto. That rhymes. Rope assisted Shoto by Goto.
You're a poet. You didn't even know it.
NJPW
haiku.
He goes for the GTR, but Owens gets an eye rake and then strikes. It's the Enziguri C trigger in the center. Then the Kenny Omega style C trigger in the ropes. Goto stops the package pile driver, hits a headbutt, then another. Owens is down on his knees, buzzsaw kick, and Goto gets him up. GTR for the win.
Mm-hmm. This was a really fun match. I really enjoyed this match. Chase is just such a smart wrestler with how he was wrestling Goto, because Goto was just kind of like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And Chase was very smart, very manipulative in this match. He's always smart and manipulative in his matches, but just like in this one particular, very, very smart, taking that go, go, go attitude from Goto and almost turning it against him several times. The outside stuff, when he started pulling up the mat, I was like, Gads, no. My God, why? Think of the children. Don't think of the children. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to this match, actually. This was just a fun ride for me.
Yeah, again, absolutely incredible. Like, just these, not incredible, but like these two just meshed so well. It just, everything. This is where nothing felt clunky. Everything seemed to flow. When a guy would do something to reverse something, it would just flow so well through. I don't know. It was smooth. It was just smooth.
It was 2 very good vets vetting it up in the ring there.
Vetting it up. I like it.
Melball wordisms.
So we're gonna move on to the March 13th show, the 7th night of the tournament. But before we talk about this match, we got to talk about the undercard match with Bullet Club's Chase Owens, David Finlay, Gato, and Kenta versus just 5 guys: Doki, Sonata, Taichi, and Yuri, and we got the Doki Choki. So he gets it on Gato earlier in the match, but it gets broken up. So I'm like, you could even hear you can hear Gino going, Doki Choki. But then when it got broken up, he's like, oh, you can kind of see him get like deflated from him getting broken up. But he's also like conflicted because he loves Doki, but Doki's fighting the guys in Bullet Club. So you can see how conflicted this man was in this match. It was weird.
Just like your freak flag fly, Gino. Doki Choki.
And then at the end, Doki's in there with Gato, and guess what? He gets another Doki Choki.
Yeah.
And he tapped, and the Doki Choki tapped. Gato had to submit to the Doki Choki. And you can hear Gino, you sound Doki Choki, Doki Choki, Doki Choki over and over. He was so happy. And he's like, I finally got it.
Yeah, you finally got it, sir. We finally got it. We've been waiting for that for a hot minute.
Yeah. Well, I think we were anticipating it just as much as he was.
That you're probably fair, yeah.
Yeah. So we got 2-1 match. That was nice. That was nice. We'll see what happens on the 15th.
It all makes up for the fact that we've like barely gotten any up until this point.
We haven't seen a Doki Choki in since the Hiromu match, or was it Hiromu? No, yeah. Who did he face? He faced Hiromu, right? Yeah, we haven't seen one since the Hiromu match. Yeah,
no, you're correct.
I don't think we haven't had one since the Hiromu match, but there really hasn't been much other than the tournament in between. So,
Correct.
yeah. We're gonna move on. We're moving on to the New Japan Cup. Back to the cup. It's Hikuleo versus Evil. Evil chop blocks Hikuleo from behind. Hikuleo then gets back up and knocks Evil down. Back elbow, gets a jumping elbow. Hikuleo runs. This is where Evil rolls out. Hikuleo follows, runs him into the barricade repeatedly. Evil dodges and he dodges a boot, and he grabs the ref, and the dick is involved. The dick came in. The dick got in there. You know. I only
have
follow
a problem with doing that.
And he hits Hikuleo in the knee with the chair, just works over the knee. It goes back in, then Evil sends him back out, distracts ref again, and the dick attacks the knee again. Gino, the line of the match, Gino says, "There's a dick with a chair in his hands."
I didn't hear that one. Oh my god.
Oh, I did. It was so good. I laughed so hard when he said that. Oh, like he's a Bullet Club homer, but when House Torture does certain things, he kind of gets annoyed. You notice that? Like he gets annoyed at some of the stuff House Torture does.
Kidding. No kidding, sir. We are all annoyed.
He's a homer. Evil's working over the knee. I already saw the spot. Hikuleo's fights back with a big layer. It stops the comeback of Evil with a big boot. He gets the corner splash and hits a brainbuster for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Just dropped down on his head. I'm like, ooh. Evil runs out, Evil runs out of the ring, but then Jado just rolls over and runs him back into the ring. It was great. I was like, nice.
Yes.
Hikuleo stuffs a low blow, but Evil catches the kick, uses and throws the leg at it was Marty Asami, wasn't it? Yeah, he threw it at Marty Asami and it knocked him down, and Evil just goes into his bullshit, chop blocks the knee. This is where Dick Togo takes out Jado. Rest of the House Torture come out. They gang up, and they run the train on him in the corner, as they did say on commentary. Just so goddamn dirty. When the dick's involved, and so they run the train on in the corner, then they get the dick to dick contact, and Evil only gets 2 on the pin. I love the fact that they make this so bad.
Yeah, you know what the best part is about this also is that have you seen some of the wide shots when Walker is exclaiming this?
Mm-hmm.
He is just in all his white boy glory at ringside, just full arms up, waving his hands around like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube, man. It just adds so much to my viewing pleasure hearing him yell dick on dick contact while waving his arms in the air.
He's
like
such
it's an
a big man.
amusement park ride.
And he's such a big man. So even if you get the wide shot where he's just on the edge, you still see him because he's so big. He's like 6'8" or something. Like the guy's humongous. Like he's very tall. And it's just like, holy shit, dude. You can't miss him to it. And it's pretty funny.
I love it though.
This is where Kanemaru gets involved. He attacks the knee as the ref's distracted. Then Evil gets Darkness Scorpion, but Hikuleo, because he's so long, it's like one arm reach out and he's at the ropes. There's like no really, he doesn't even have to claw for the ropes. He just like reaches arm out and he's got a rope.
Yeah.
That's all it really is.
It's true. It's so true. He is so long.
Yeah, Hikuleo stops to everything is evil, hits the Tongan twist. House of Torture pull out Hikuleo, but he fights them all off. Hikuleo hits the Tongan knockout. I can't remember what the move was, but they called it the Tongan knockout. It was the TKO off the shoulder.
I was gonna say, yeah, the TKO.
Yeah, Tongan knockout. That makes more sense. I'm a dumbass. and he goes for the pin, but like as the ref's counting the pin for Hikuleo, Togo rings the bell. And I was like, what? So you're saying you're declaring the opponent the winner, you dumb idiot? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Ref's taken out again. Marty worked tonight, man. You mentioned this in the last show. Marty worked this, or you mentioned it to me before. Marty worked. Jesus Christ, Marty
He
worked.
freaking worked. That poor man has been getting yeeted around, particularly by House of Torture.
Mm-hmm.
So much this tour, that poor guy.
Yeah. And we get Narita hits the guillotine knee. Uh, all House Torture, and they're attacking, but Tangelo and ELP come down, but they get overwhelmed by the mass that is House of Torture. But they eventually fight back and fight them off. ELP and Hikuleo hit the assisted moonsault rope walk from the heavens onto everybody on the floor. The a couple of young lions join in, start pushing God to the back, or pushing God and House of Torture, helping push them House of Torture to the back. Full Nelson slam by Hikuleo in the ring, but Evil slips out of the Godsend choke slam, hits the chop block. Evil hits a strike, hits everything as Evil, and Evil triumphs. God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, we knew that this was going to be the problem with House of Torture being in this tournament. Thank goodness Yujiro was, well, stupid and brought Peter instead of the rest of House of Torture. So we don't have to suffer him in this tournament as well.
Because we have
That
what?
being
Jack
said,
Perry, we have Evil, and we have Narita in this tournament, right?
correct. Yujiro was
Left
the
at this
fourth.
point. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you kind of got all the big spots that I actually had. Overall, I didn't enjoy this match. And
It
it
was not good.
no, it's like it wasn't because what was happening in the ring wasn't good. It was just there was so much other bullshit for me. I felt that
Mm.
Hikuleo and Evil actually did very well when they were actually wrestling.
Mm.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
again, the House of Torture stuff distracts and takes away from the potential and opportunity that we have to see a banger of a match coming out of two tremendous athletes. We say it all the time. House of Torture independently has really great wrestlers, but House of Torture as a faction, I I would rather do not nice things to myself than watch these guys, you know? It's getting to a
Yeah.
point where it's getting to a point where it's not worth watching anymore. It's getting very,
Like,
very close for me.
I'm getting really close. Once we get out of this tournament, once we start watching once we start watching tour matches again and stuff, I'm
Mm,
probably gonna start skipping House, because there was a point where we were like, oh, the House Torture matches are getting better, and we were starting
mhm.
to actually get into them a bit, and now it's just like, oh, it's back to its old bullshit, and
Yeah,
I have no desire
and
to
I
watch
don't
their
know
multi-man tags
why.
anymore. Yeah.
I'm not, like, and I'm trying to understand why, because now they got multiple champions within this faction, and what what changed? Who's no longer booking? Who's no longer in charge of this stuff that has made this kind of downward spiral?
Did
Because
Taro Okada take
man,
over? I'm joking. He's the Bushi fight president, but he ain't going to be running this. But
I mean, the evidence would suggest otherwise. However, yeah, it really does suck to always be saying this about House of Torture, because this could have been
yeah,
so good, and especially coming off of the last match that Hikuleo had. Mm,
mhm.
so good. Hikuleo's had a tremendous tournament. I feel like this is a stain on it, not because the match itself, technically speaking, wasn't good. There was just too many shenanigans that took away from the enjoyment of the overall match.
Oh, and I'm gonna have a lot more to talk about how a good match was ruined by shenanigans when we get to the final match we're gonna talk about on this show.
I have no doubt.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna move on though. Main event of night number 7, March 13th. It's Shingo Takagi versus Gabe Kidd. Now, this was the opposite of the last match. This was, well, not the opposite. This was a really, really good match. And yes, there was shenanigans, but it was the only shenanigans was between the two guys. There was no
Mhm,
outside interference. There's none of that, and it just
mhm,
everything worked so well in this match.
mhm, mhm. We saw Captain Sassy Pants. Sassy Pants Gabe Kidd was back. It wasn't just match ready Gabe Kidd. We got war ready Kidd back, and I am so happy about that.
But he wasn't wearing his sassy pants though. He didn't have the red stripes on the sides.
I know, I know. We got to figure out what the other sassy trigger is for Gabe Kidd. I don't know,
The
but like
kid
this, he
attacks
was
during.
on fire,
Yes,
on
sorry, I
fire.
didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's
Yeah,
all good.
kid attacks during the entrance. Shingo runs Shingo out into the barricade. Runs Shingo into the barricades. Tosses a chair into his face. Like just, and this is all the bell hasn't.
Savage.
He hits him with the chair, chokes him with a shirt, smashing his face into a table. Kids says some stuff in English, and then he goes into Japanese. So I really don't know what he said. But Gino Walker knew what he said, and he was like, "Oh, Gino's like, oh, you don't say that." And Shingo flips the hell out and just starts beating piss at a kid. They start brawling around ringside. Kid bites Shingo's forehead. They get in the ring, but they go right back out the ring just to get the match officially started.
Mm,
Uh, Shingo running Kid into the post, slamming into the apron. Kid fights back, running Shingo into the barricade and boots him over the barricade. I think
mhm.
this is the one where no, this wasn't the match where they went into the announce table.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
oh, is this the spot? Yeah, okay. Because was it this? I can't remember this spot or the other. Because there's a couple spots where they do this a couple times in this match. But yeah, I think I wrote it down when he does do that part. Um, yeah, as he goes boots him over the barricade. This is where he starts throwing barricades and chairs and everything else on Shingo. He then makes a
Mhm.
pile of chairs and pile drives Shingo into the chairs. And Shingo gets back in at Mel's favorite number, 19
There seems to be in these New Japan Cup matches at least one of these 19 counts
per night.
per night, which is
Yeah,
okay. Because again, we aren't watching like I'm not watching a lot of the
the
undercard
undercard.
stuff, so I'm not really sure if they're doing a bunch of them down there too. So this is palatable. This is okay
Yeah.
for now.
Kid immediately hits a backdrop suplex and onto Shingo as he gets in and gets two. Shingo rolls back out to the floor. Kid attacks Shingo on the floor, runs him into the barricade, and Shingo gets in at 16. So Mel wasn't as mad.
It's a little bit
Uh,
lower. That's
kid with
doable.
some kid with more hard strikes, like seriously hard strikes. Shingo fights back with strikes and the spinning lariat. Shingo unloading the strikes into the corner. Hits a lariat in the corner with the suplex for two. Takagi hits a sliding lariat, but Kid rolls through and hits an exploder suplex. Both men are down. They trade headbutts. They trade chops. They're trading hard strikes and lariats. They're trading pinfalls. They trade vertical suplexes. Then they like smash into each other with lariats, and they both like collapse off of it. Um, they're smashing heads together, trading strikes. Kid drops Takagi, which is impressive. Kid can't get the pile driver though. He kicks him in the head, and they trade strike. Like, he's like doing that like repeated like an asshole kicks like kicking push at the head. It was just douchey.
Mhm.
Don't do that to Takagi. Um, they trade strikes again. Takagi gets the backdrop suplex, and Takagi gets made in Japan for two. This is where Walker says, "This is what beats whoever he beat in the first night." And I'm like, "No, we beat him with Last of the Dragon." Like, come on, man, get it right.
Mhm.
Uh, more headbutts from Takagi, but Kid gets out of Last of the Dragon, hits the rebound lariat, and the tombstone pile driver for 2. They start trading strikes again, headbutts. Shingo gets the backslide for 2, and the sliding elbow, then hits the sliding lariat. Takagi gets the pumping bomber, and finally lands Last of the Dragon to do more damage to my bracket and gets the win. I really thought Kid was going to.
You thought Kid was going to beat Takagi?
Did. I really did. I thought they were going to get him. And then after the match, Naito and Suji come out and they all fist each other. No, they fist each other. They put their fist.
That's true.
Fist.
They fist bump. They
fisted each other.
They did not.
No, fist bump is this. They all just go like this. They put their fists like this. They don't. When they stay there, they don't go.
So they're touching fists.
They're fisting.
Like
they're fisting.
Touching tips. They're not.
When the Rads do it,
when we touch tips.
The Rads do it. They're tipping. It's called tipping.
No, we're touching tips. Jesus. Oh, we are soiling the image of the Rads.
That's right. They're all about tipping.
Jesus. They're not about fisting though.
No, they're about tipping.
We're getting back into this match. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add. You got a whole lot of the spots that I had actually written down. This match overall though, it was, as I mentioned, really, really nice to see Captain Sassy Pants back with Gabe Kidd, see War Ready Gabe Kidd going to war with Takagi instead of Match Ready Kid. I was a little concerned going into this one just because the last match we had with Takagi was wow. I wanted more showmanship out of that one. Yuya wasn't ready. We know Gabe Kidd is. And it's odd because Gabe Kidd did come out of the same kind of year that Yuya did. Mind you, Gabe Kidd did have other training and work experience under his belt prior. I don't know that Yuya did. But yeah, overall, it was really, really solid match. This was a great build up for Takagi. I mean, if we had another kind of Yuya situation for him, I'd be starting to be a little concerned about how his tournament's kind of looking. But Gabe Kidd very, very came in strong and put on a very, very good show with Takagi. Great way to kind of cap off this night.
Oh yeah, absolutely impressive, man. Like this, but it was definitely the match that needed to be the main event here, and they just tore the house down, man. Like so good.
Yes. It was great.
Yeah,
very,
like
very
I put this in the top echelon of matches in this tournament.
I'd agree with that. I'd say it's top 3 easily.
Yeah, it's in that top 5 group of matches for me. It's just I don't know exactly where it sits, but it's in there. There's been some solid. This is part of them solid match. You know what? It's probably just right now I'm probably saying Cobb and Suji number 1. This probably number 2 for me, and with TJP and Finley at number 3, because all 3 just incredibly strong matches that could each make it a statement to go be the number 1 match of the tournament so far. Like just absolutely incredible here.
I agree.
And if it wasn't for what happened in the main event of the 15th, if it didn't end that way, that match would be my match of the tournament if it didn't end in such a fashion. But we'll talk about that in a couple matches here. March 15th, 8-man tag match, Great Bash Heel, Togi Makabe, and Tomoaki Hanma, teaming with El Desperado and Bolton Oleg. It says Oleg Bolton online for some reason, but whatever. Versus just 5 guys, Doki Sonata, Taichi Yumura, and no Doki Choki.
We're always going to battle about Oleg's name, aren't we? Wikipedia tells you one thing, NJPW tells you another.
It's until Bolton comes out and just says, "This is how you say my name." I don't know what to say anymore.
You say what the sign says in front of you. You read the sign. What does it say? Shingo Takagi, Gabe Kidd. What does the other thing say? Bolton Oleg.
the Olympic records and the the Olympic style wrestling and all that stuff, like the official world stuff tournaments that he took place, that Bolton took place that entered and did, all say Oleg Bolton. That's why I'm so confused.
I mean, so am I. I just read what's in front of me, though.
I know. Well, I'm reading what's in front of me from this German translated website where I get all my results from. It's called Cage Match.
Well, maybe they need to do some research.
Well, they're going with Wikipedia.
Well, that seems like a poor choice.
And the World Wrestling Council people that run amateur wrestling, they're going with them.
Not the company that he's currently working for that we're reviewing. No. Nay.
Yeah, the other one's a little more official. We move on the 15th. We have El Phantasma versus Yoda Tsuji. Wow, man, ELP keeps stepping up his game, and it just, the guy's doing insanely good work here, man. If Tsuji doesn't win this tournament, I want to see him bring back Zandikin Jr. and go after the strong titles. Like, seriously.
They'd be waiting in a very long line, though, because there's a lot of people picking up a lot of wins over these two in this tournament and beforehand.
Well, Evil just did. So Evil, if he doesn't win this tournament, probably has a shot at strong tag title with, I'm guessing, Narita. Or no, probably Yujiro. Yeah, probably going to be Yujiro. Should be Narita, but we'll see. They start by trading strikes and chops early. ELP grabs a hand, gets the rope walk into the Rana, sending Tsuji to the floor. And then you're sending him to the apron. Then he boots him off the apron to the floor. ELP goes for the dive, but Tsuji kicks him in the head as his buddies go through the ropes, stopping the dive. And then he pulls ELP out, runs him into the barricade. In the ring, he uses the body scissors into a rear naked choke, but ELP gets out. Tsuji hits the scoop slam and the salmon splash for 2. The move he kept in his arsenal from being a young lion, as Walker Stewart said.
You know what's really funny? Is that what Walker is calling it, or is that what you're calling it?
I thought I heard him call it the salmon splash a cup on the last show, but I didn't quite get what he said on this show.
So regularly, like when Kevin was doing it beforehand, they called it Mount Tsuji. I was the one calling it salmon splash.
I picked it up from you. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what Walker called, but I'm just the way he flops down. He looks like a salmon just going blah. Like
he looks like a salmon going upstream, which is ironic considering he's facing someone.
Oh, I know what I should be calling. I know what I should be calling this.
Is fine.
I should be calling this the flying fish. After local independent wrestler Slammer with his old flying fish move where he just like jumped in the air and flopped around like a fish till he came down on somebody. It's very similar. It's very similar. Flying fish.
Please no. Don't ruin Tsuji for me. You have ruined other things for me. Do not ruin Tsuji for me.
Tsuji gets some strikes. ELP avoids a lariat and gets a tornado DDT to the flying fish. ELP hits the spring. I'm joking. I won't say it again. ELP hits the springboard crossbody, but misses on the line assault attempt. Tsuji rolls out, so ELP gets a tornado DDT off the apron to the floor. Back in the ring, ELP hits the springboard senton and then hits the lion salt for 2. Tsuji stops sudden death, and he hits a beautiful tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, like by catching him running off the ropes. That looked so good. Tsuji catches ELP with his feet in the corner, slams the face down into the mat. ELP fights back, goes for the burning hammer, but Tsuji lands on his feet, boots ELP out of the ring. Tsuji drops him on the apron. Tsuji tries to suplex on the apron, but ELP gets out of it, hits sudden death, but can't get CR2. Tsuji hits this like jumping knee to the face, and then misses the stomp off the apron. ELP misses the moonsault to the floor, and Tsuji's back on the apron, jumps off as ELP stands up and stomps his face, like comes flying through the air and stomps ELP's face into the mat on the floor. Looked great. ELP does this terrible trying to get back in and get back. Like he goes to climb in. It's like no, and he doesn't even try to hop. He just like flops forward and then just goes no. Just like what the flying, and he
Yeah.
gets in at Mel's favorite number 19.
Yeah. The problem I had with this one is the floppery. It was a little too obvious that he was trying to make it to that 19 count. I was like, man, just just don't remove the realism from it if you're gonna do it. This one I had a problem with.
Yeah, yeah,
Kinda he kinda flopped around like a fish, if you will.
yeah. He very much did. He was a floppy fish.
He was a floppy fish.
He wasn't flying. He was a floppy fish.
I mean, he coulda went flying.
Could have. So ELP back in. Suji with the lariat hits the corner splash, puts ELP up, but ELP pushes him off the top. But Suji comes back, kicks him up top. Suji gets up with him, hits the Spanish fly off the top. Suji gets in a 3-point stance, but ELP jumps over the Gene Blaster attempt, hits sudden death, but it takes too long to get onto the pin and only gets 2. They roll around, trading pinfalls. Suji gets up, gets kicks and strikes, hits that Falcon arrow for 2. ELP then turns it like so he lines up for Gene Blaster again, goes, but ELP like he does. So what this reminded me of was MMA when a guy goes for a takedown. You guys will kick their legs back and like lean into it, like to
Mhm,
stuff the
mhm,
guy from being able to sweep the legs out from under him. And that's what he did with the Gene Blaster. He just kind of like dropped forward on it and then got him into the CR2 and hit CR2. But Suji
mhm,
kicks out at 2.9. Again, I love the transition there to like
mhm,
turn. I was like, that actually was really cool.
mhm,
Suji fires up with strikes, but ELP fights back. But Suji hits that backbreaker face slam, misses the stomp. ELP strike it's a strike, but Suji fights back with kicks and more strikes. Suji hits him with a kick, then hops up onto the second, hops up on the third, jumps out, and curb stomps ELP off the top and just comes down on him and just crashes him in the mat, flips him over. 1, 2, 3. Man, what a finish. I loved that.
mhm, mhm. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this match. This was a great match. Just the
Yep.
unique styling that both these guys have combined so perfectly. And then there's the charisma that both of them had combined so
Mhm.
perfectly. And then that thing that I've been complaining about a little bit, both, kind of within this company, within Stardom, and also locally, there's been a distinct dissociation happening from the crowd. Did not happen in this match. Holy heckin' crap. ELP and Hikaleo have become, I would say, some of the biggest faces in NJPW right now, taking pictures, posing with the fans, doing the little hearts before the match and after the match. Um,
ELP gave his title to a little old lady before the
yeah,
match.
you remember how I was telling you, like, Clark Connors and Maloney beforehand, they were like screaming at the women and children. ELP and Hikaleo are elevating the women and children by giving them championships.
Hmm.
See? You can reform yourself after Bullet Club, ladies and gentlemen. Don't always have to be a dick to go. Um, yeah, there was a whole just total package about this match that worked so well because there was hints of aerials and that lucha libre style. We saw ELP boinky boinking on the ropes a couple times. We saw that kind of chain wrestling, technicality that we would expect to see also out of a lucha style background. We saw the power stuff. We saw them utilizing the outside. We saw everything that we could possibly want in a wrestling match, minus a female or manager on the side. this match just had everything you could possibly want in a tournament style match. It was so good. So good.
Mm-hmm. Again, absolutely incredible main event, man. Like, or not main event, semi-main event, and
It should have been a
like
main. Goddamn.
after what happened in the main, like I thought going in that the main should be the main, but now I'm like, what did it finish? I'm like, fuck, I wish this would have been the main. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get into the Andre rant.
Okay. So the first 90% of this match was everything I hoped this match could be. This was Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ren Narita from Wrestle Kingdom of last year, evolved to be even better because both of these men have gotten even better.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 10% was complete and utter bullshit. We're going to
That
get
was a
into this.
nicer word than I was expecting you to say.
I'm trying to just to watch my certain words that I'm saying now. Just Narita comes out with all the members of House of Torture. Nichols comes out with Sabre because I guess Fujin is not there either.
He's in
I
surgery.
think he's in
He just had
Australia.
surgery.
Oh,
He had surgery.
What? Oh, damn it!
He is out
Eagles,
on surgery.
Damn it. Where's Bad Dude Cheeto when you need him? Oh yeah, he's gonna be
I
working on
was
an
gonna
academy
say,
show next
right,
week.
what we needed was some big teats in this situation.
He's training the next generation at the New Japan Academy in the States.
Want me to take a break?
I know you
Priorities,
need to be. You should have been there to help your boy, dude. Like Jesus.
right?
Same with
Think of the children.
same with Haste. Like, come on, dude. You could have flown over for this match, just for the one match, then fly back home. It's fine.
Just the one match.
Yeah. Yeah. Your girlfriend's your wife's taking a new job. She's busy. You can come. You can fly over and do stuff. I watched her YouTube and
Oh,
about
excuses,
stuff. So
excuses.
there's a reason for him to be. It's the reason he can get up there. She's busy. She's working. You can get over here, you jerk. Come on. I'm a fan of you. Come on.
The shade.
Hayes should be in this tournament.
I agree.
But House of Torture all decide to go to the back. But we know this is the last time we're going to see them. So Nichols is just like, nah, I'm going to chill out here. I'm going to support my boy. And then Red Shoes literally makes him go to the back. And it's like, dude, are you stupid? Like, Nichols isn't going to cheat, but they are. So leave the guy out. Let the guy stay out here to at least play patrolman to these a-holes. Like, come on. But he doesn't, so Mikey has to leave. And it's just not fair.
No. That didn't make sense to me either. It's like, why even bother letting House of Torture at ringside at this point? Just ban them when you see them coming down the ramp. Just go to the end of the thing and be like, no. Go to the back.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get into some. So Sabre called Narita. So Sabre in some comments called Narita a boring Shibata clone. But now he has a lot more personality. Now that he gets to dress up like it's Halloween every day of the year.
We tend to be happier when we do get to dress up like it's Halloween every day of the year, sir.
Yeah, and again, but like I know Sabre's poking fun at him, but it's kind of true. Narita actually has some personality now. He actually has something to him now, and it really influenced in this match. It's nice that he's not a clone anymore. They're really technical early. Narita ends up gouging at the eyes of Sabre. Again, when it's just the two of them, I'm not going to get mad at it because that is his character to take some cheap space here. But a lot of what he did in this match was good. They're just trading strikes back and forth. Narita hits a knee, tosses Sabre out, runs Sabre in the barricade. Sabre jumps off. They go out to the thing, and he goes to run Sabre in the wall, but Sabre like jumps up on the wall, pushes off, and lands in a Cobra twist. So
cool.
And then Sabre starts attacking Narita, taking him back to ringside. He misses. Sabre misses the PK off the apron. Narita sweeps him down, runs him into the. This is where he runs him into and over the barricade onto the English announce table, and like Gino jumped out of the way at the last second. Walker's still in his chair, going, "What the hell?" And you can't hear Gino because he dropped his headset. They crushed Gino's monitor. So
Mhm.
they actually had to share a monitor for the rest of the match.
Yeah, yeah. And didn't they also
Oh,
break Walker's phone? Or
I
was that the
didn't
night
hear that.
before?
I didn't hear that part.
I
I
think
might.
it actually was the night before. He was protecting his MacBook tonight, the
Uh,
night before with Shingo and Kid, they broke Walker's phone
they, Kid Shingo and Kid better be buying him a new phone. Like that's.
at the very least.
Yeah, but it was just great. It was just a great spot there.
Mhm,
Uh, and he keeps running into the barricade. He literally jumps over the barricade, lariating Saber into the barricade at one point.
mhm,
Uh, he attacks with a chair, goes to hit him again, but the ref takes it away. As the ref's going to put it down, Narita gets another chair and hits him with it. He continues the attack on the floor. Again, I don't criticize this because the Kid does the same thing. Cogden does the same thing. I don't
mhm,
criticize this because this is shenanigans between the two guys. It's only when you get to the
mhm,
crap at the end that I get mad at this match. Um, so they get back in, Narita attacking the face in the ring, like he's working over, he's like attacking the face of him. He hits the slingshot onto the bottom ropes. Narita hits a back elbow. Saber kicks out at one. They're trading places in the Cobra twist. It was kind of a funny little spot. But
mhm,
Narita ends up pulling at the and like snaps the ear and hits a big boot for two. Saber
mhm,
hits his own big boot. Saber gets a roll up into and then turns it into a beautiful bow and arrow, and then lets him off, drop kicks him in the back of the neck while he's seated. Oh, looks so good.
mhm,
Um, Saber kicking at the shoulder, does that flip kick into the shoulder. Uh, Gets the arm wringer slam. Damage keeps working over that arm. He's hitting the Daniel Bryan style yes kick, just like the guy's like seated or kneeled. That
mhm,
Saber does. It's the Saber kicks. Yeah. Um, he gets the he does go to Daniel Bryan's well here, and he pulls out the Romero special or Brian Danielson, whatever you want to call him. It's all the same guy. He gets the Romero special. He's stomping, and then he comes back, lets it go, and jumps up and stomps the back of both of Narita's knees. And I'm just like, oh, like, ah,
does not feel
dude.
nice, no.
Yeah. Then he puts on an ankle lock, then into the Fujiwara armbar, then into the double armbar, then ties those up in his legs, pulling at the neck. But Narita finally gets to the ropes. Like just great transitioning here. Um, Narita blocks a kick and strikes, then hits the running lariat. Narita stretching Saber on the ropes. Narita striking at Saber, but Saber strikes back. They're trading strike to center. They boot each other down. Um, Series of reversals. Narita from both guys. Narita gets Narita special for two. Then he hits that guillotine knee for two. Hits the kicks. Then he hits more kicks. Hits another two. European clutch by Saber for two, then another European clutch for two. Uh, Saber catches a flying armbar. They're trading holds, rolling around. Saber gets a triangle, but Narita like stacks him and starts stomping on Saber's head to get out to break it. Great spot there.
Mhm,
And then the match falls apart because
mhm.
how's the torture run out? I think it was Perry and somebody else run out.
I
Mikey,
wanna say Kanemaru.
I think it was Kanemaru. I'm not sure. Um, yeah. So yeah. No, it wasn't Kanemaru because Kanemaru came in after. It was
Oh,
Yujiro, and it was Yujiro and Perry
right, right, right.
come out. So Mikey gets a hold of him, starts taking him back up the entrance ramp. But this is where Kanemaru comes through the crowd, slides in, sprays whiskey in the eyes of Saber, and this is where Perry and Yujiro get past Mikey. They run back to the ring, and Mikey chases them back to the ring, and he gets a double lariat on the floor to them. Or
Mhm.
in sorry, was it? Oh, it was in the ring. He gets double lariat to them in the ring.
Yes, in the ring, yeah.
Um, yeah. Then Evil and Togo are out. When Mikey rolls out to take care of those two and Kanemaru, they try Magic Killer and Saber, but Saber fights them off, and then he gets them out of the ring. And then Narita has a goddamn push-up bar, hits Saber in the head, tosses it out, picks him up, hits the sold-out X Factor, and Narita legitimately steals a win. my exact writing
Yeah.
after this was an absolutely incredible match until the end. My entire bracket is destroyed as I had Saber winning the whole fucking tournament. I hope Tsuji beats the living piss out of Narita in the quarterfinals. And I mean for real.
It's going to be interesting because kind of Lij is having its own little internal kind of kerfluffle, having the two young boys, because Narita and Suji did come up in that similar time period, and also with the animosity of evil leaving Lij. Lij is going to have their hands full dealing with each other, dealing with Just Five Guys, dealing with House of Torture. A busy, busy season for Lij. Um, yeah, I'm not going to add anything to what you said because I feel like you kind of summed it up pretty good. This was a phenomenal match until House of Torture showed up. How many times does that need to be the case with House of Torture before they start actually doing something different with them?
Yeah.
It's like,
Again, it's the
I
same
know
thing
it's
for
not the
Narita.
actual. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's the same thing for Narita in the first round. He was having a great match, and then everybody got involved.
And that seems to be the thing with everything. Jack Perry was actually having a fairly decent match with Yano, and then House of Torture showed up and ruined everything. Like I said, the only thing they haven't ruined was Yujiro. We just had Peter with that, which was a step up.
Well,
Because
you can't ruin Yujiro because he's already at the bottom. You can't go any lower than the bottom.
I would put Peter above Yujiro, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, very much so. She is. I would far rather see Peter in the ring than Yujiro.
What's unfortunate is that he hasn't been bringing her back. Just was that once-off show, which is unfortunate because I would like to see some more variety. Anyway, yeah, I was so disappointed with this.
Yeah, my bracket's broken because I had Saber going to the win. So like I'm complete. My bracket's completely broken. Like just it's going.
Dust in the wind, my
Dust in the
friend. Dust
wind.
in the wind.
Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind.
Love it.
So we have Sonata versus Jack Perry on March 16th. Actually, today
Lord
as we
help
record
us.
this, but I haven't got a chance to watch it because I was watching other stuff and I was watching Stardom. That will be coming out in the next couple of days. Here, we're going to be on a couple Stardom shows coming to you. We're going to have more for the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals is all going to come out as one big show.
Mhm.
Same with the semifinals, and then we'll do a show for the finals. So that'll be coming over the next few days. So yeah, you have Sonata and Jack Perry, and also David Finlay versus Hiroki Goto on the March 16th show. Then on March 17th, you have Evil versus Shingo Takagi, so House of Torture versus Lij, and then you
Mhm.
have Yota Tsuji versus they messed up the graphic because it
I was
shows
gonna say Zack Sabre Jr.'s name is highlighted.
this
Wishful
is the
thinking on
graphic
their part.
this is the graphic I pulled from their website, so that's on them. And you have then
Wishful
Narita taking Yota
thinking.
Tsuji again. House of Torture versus Yota Tsuji. On the same
Mhm.
night, we have two Lij versus House of Torture matches.
Oh no.
So what I'm worried about is back to back bullshit on the 17th.
Well, we gonna be in for some just bullshit in general because the night before it's gonna be House of Torture versus Just Five Guys.
Yeah, again, it's the quarterfinals don't look they could be promising, but there's going to be some bullshit in three of the matches. And even Finley, you never know with Gato involved.
But
Finley
that's
take
not as obnoxious as House of
no,
Torture. That's at
yeah,
least appropriate shenanigans.
yeah, and Goto has yoshi-hashi. He can help him out.
Mm.
But I really recommend all members of Lij be at ringside to deal with House of Torture in both of those matches. Like you could put Hiromu on English commentary, put Shingo or put
Well,
and then put the Naito on I would love for Hiromu to be on English commentary. He would sound hilarious.
Okay. He would. I don't know if we could understand him very well, but he would.
I'm saying, it'd be funny. You put the other boys on the Japanese commentary, and we're all good. And then the ref can't throw them out because they're working. You can make one of them the ring bell guy. You can make another. You can just have everybody be something, and then they can't. Then the ref can't get rid of them. And then when House Church gets involved, Elijah's right there to get rid of them.
I mean, you remember when Hiromu was healing from his torn bicep and he was just randomly a ring cleaner or a cameraman or
Or
a
a bell guy. He was a bell guy once, I think.
yeah, like why not make I mean, we could also just see them, and we have seen them coming out to support each other a little bit more lately. So maybe they're getting sick of the shenanigans also.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll see on the 16th show, and we'll see on the 17th show. They'll be coming out in a few days. Yeah, I'm worried about this show. So the next show we're gonna have 4 matches on next NJPW Puroresu. The episode after that, we're only gonna be talking 2 matches on the next show and whatever Doki does on the undercard. We'll be talking that, and that'll be it. And then we'll be depending on what the finals is, we're gonna cover most of it. They're planning to. If it's just mostly multi-man tags, we'll cover what's important. But yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But lots of great content coming soon. And we have Stardom coming over, some Stardom reviews coming over the next couple of days to cover the 9th and 10th Cinderella tournament matches. And there's 2 title matches in there on top of it all. The Natsupoi return matches in there. And then this weekend, as we're talking right now, there's more Stardom happening this weekend, more rounds of the Cinderella tournament happening on the Saturday and on the Saturday the 16th and Sunday the 17th. So that'll be coming out. Those shows will come out later in the week. So that'll probably come the week after for you. Just because when Stardom comes out, then the time for us to watch it takes some time for us to get through it. So busy people. Plus next week's very full for us. With I got a comedy show on Thursday. I've got Top Talent. I've got Ghostbusters and Working Out and Top Talent on Friday. And then the following Monday, I've got a live stream talking Ghostbusters on OLE. So lots of content coming, lots of stuff coming from both of us. We're both very busy. Going to be very busy people in the next little bit.
Andre's going to be helping me do my first solo episode of Chop Talk. Because I took in an RCW. Well, I mean, we had fun. There were goat screams. There was chaos. Glorious, glorious chaos.
You had a cat.
I had a cat. I had a blue-haired cat. Some interesting developments. I'm interested to see what you think about what I thought happened at this show.
I'm interested to hear. I know I'm a little spoiler here for that show. I'm very disappointed to find out that I didn't get to see my boy Jack O'Connor win. So I'm very disappointed by that.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler that he tapped out Kat Von Hees. Like, wow. To retain, there's stuff. I will drop that on Chop Talk. You have to hear all the news on Chop Talk for that.
Come to Chop Talk. Melball will be talking RCW, whatever the show was called. I think it was Reality Check. Reality Check. That's it. Reality Check.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was an online thingamajiggy. That's cool. That's fun.
But we have come to the end of another episode of NJPW Puroresu Review. You can find this guy at the X-Master on Blue Sky and Hive at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find me if you want to on our YouTube page, youtube.com/at Andre M. Melball Wrestling Talk. Comment in the videos. We want to hear from you. Also, don't forget to check us out in audio form over at SundayNight'sMainEventRadio.com. And if you are listening to us in that audio form, please support if you can, support them by giving them a 5-star review and liking them on whatever your podcatcher choice is. And if you want to support them even more, go over to patreon.com/SNME radio for what is, I think, $4 American per month. You can support them. Check, I think I pay $6 in Canadian, so I think it's like $4 or $5 per month, just at the lowest tier. Throw them out. It's like a cup. It's like less than a cup of coffee for a week. It's not bad. Please support them over there at patreon.com/SNME Radio. You can also find our friends over at twitch.tv/our local establishment, doing a lot of great live content over there. I was just on there last week 3 times. Marvel Talk. I was there for On a Ramble, which was a great time. I love me some Auntie Collins. She is just a hoot to hang out with. And then Kyle ended up being able to jump in about halfway through the show, so it just got even more fun when Kyle got in there. It was just a giant fun time. I had such a blast hanging out with them. And then me and Melball,
Collinses are fun.
yeah, the Collins are the best, man. The Collins are the best.
Collins are the best.
And then Friday we had the Japanese wrestling update, which was absolutely incredible. I was supposed to join my boy uh, uh, Bobby on his show on Sunday. Today as this comes out. But I can't, as I have some personal issues I have to attend to, personal stuff in my life. I have to go see some people and deal with some stuff in my personal life. So please support Bobby as he does the watch along for the MLW. I think it's Intimidation Games. No, it's a tapings that happen. It's matches that were taped at Intimidation Games. Please go check him out as he does a watch along for those that are on YouTube on Saturday, and he's going to do the watch along on Sunday. So check that out. And then finally, our friends, Mike the Ref over at Backbreaker Video, simulcast all our great stuff. Thank you so very much for all this great support. YouTube.com/@Backbreaker Video. You can see all his live wrestling watch along content on Wednesdays and Saturdays as he watches AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision, and he's going to be doing all the pay-per-views there at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. You can also find all his gaming content there, all his live gaming content, watching him play video games and doing sometimes with friends, which is a good time. You can see the replays of all that at youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where you can find content from Mr. Rick Jules, Mr. PJC, Mike's content, which every once in a while he has on his good friend and our favorite, Miss Kayla J.
Kayla J stands up better on the shirt. Kayla J. Love
Right,
Kayla
J,
J.
baby. Love Kayla J. Love Kayla J.
Love Kayla J.
Yeah, we always support Kayla J. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find her on our local establishment's programming, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy, on Fridays at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. As we've mentioned in videos prior, the next couple are going to be pre-recorded as we are watching a lot of wrestling on Fridays, which is a good problem for us to have. You can also
April
catch
5th, though. April 5th, catch us
April
in the
5th in the
afternoon.
afternoon. We will be live in the afternoon. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We have a show coming out very, very soon. We'll be talking all the crazy-ish that's been going on in women's professional wrestling. So stay tuned to our socials to hear when we are going to be putting that out. If you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is njpwworld.com. It is 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears and congratulations for being back on NXT. But the price is actually more like $7.50 the claw. But still an amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. Wanted to also do one more little spoiler, if I can, for the RCW thing, and shout out our good friend Rick Jules, who won the tag team championships yesterday with JJ Spade.
Yeah. Wild card JJ Spade.
You see the card. I remember the card. I'm like, it took something to do with the card. Yeah, congratulations, Rick Jules. He also has made his return back to streaming, so check out his socials to see when he is going to be online playing some games for you guys. What else? Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Always bake your cookies very, very big. Always make big cookies. I just happened to be in a text, so always make big cookies because big cookies are the best. And please, if you're listening to us on Sunday's main event, please support us by liking the audio on whatever podcast catcher, giving us 5-star reviews if you can, and support them at patreon.com/SNME Radio if you want to help out there. And if you are watching us on either of the YouTubes, Backbreaker Video or Andre Melball and Talk, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Please share us out to your friends, family, and all the crazy people in your life and not in your life and in space and everywhere else in the existence of the universe. And hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
I will kick you, you weird little alien. Leave me alone.
Zero to assault there.
Hey, he annoyed me first by ringing my doorbell.
He annoyed me, so I kicked him in the face. Oh, Lord have mercy. That being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.